Hello students, welcome back. In the last session we have studied about anonymous inner classes in Java, and we have also discussed event handling with anonymous inner classes. In today's session we will start with the new unit, that is Java Swing. In that, today we will discuss a topic, that is Java Foundation classes. So Java Foundation classes are graphical framework for building GUI applications or graphical user interface applications in Java. We have already studied one more framework using which a graphical user interface is developed in Java, and that is AWT, Abstract Windowing Toolkit or Abstract Window Toolkit, which is also used to create a graphical user interface in Java. So what is this Java Foundation classes and why it is used, that we will discuss today. So let's start. The Java Foundation classes, in short it is called as JFC, are graphical framework for building portable Java based graphical user interfaces. As I've said, these are the classes, or you can say set of libraries which can be used to create a portable Java based graphical user interface. This JFC consists of Abstract Windowing Toolkit. Even JFC consists of Abstract Windowing Toolkit, Swing and Java 2D. So JFC has the libraries, that is AWT, Swing and Java 2D, and together they provide a consistent user interface for Java programs, regardless of whether the underlying user interface system is Windows, Mac or Linux. That means the user interface which is created by using JFC can be executed on different systems. It can be executed on Windows, Mac or Linux system. Let us go through some history of this JFC. AWT exists before JFC. Abstract Window Toolkit existed before the Java Foundation classes. AWT was available to use with the Java version in 1995. When AWT was available with the initial Java version, why there was a need of JFC? There was a need of Java Foundation classes because of certain problems which were there in the earlier toolkit, that is AWT toolkit. So AWT was heavily criticized for being little more than a wrapper around native graphical capabilities of the host platform. That means AWT used native graphical capabilities to display its component on the screen. AWT is not completely developed in Java, and AWT was not platform independent. AWT, to display components on the GUI, took help of the underlying operating system. For example, if a AWT program is executed on Windows platform, it makes use of Windows platform native code to display the GUI components on the screen. So we can say AWT is not completely platform independent. It is dependent on the existing platform, and that is why it is AWT was platform dependent, not platform independent. The standard widgets in the AWT relied on those capabilities of the native widgets, requiring the developers to also be aware of the differences between host platforms. As I've said, the widgets in AWT depends on the native widgets of that particular platform. Like in Windows, the Windows widgets, it depends on Windows widgets. So the developer needs to be familiar again with the host platform also. If a developer is developing a system for a Windows operating system, then he should be familiar with the Windows operating system as well. If he is developing a interface or a program for Linux, a developer should be familiar with the Linux widgets or Linux set of widgets also. There was an alternative graphical library which was made available by Netscape, and that is called as Internet Foundation Classes. An alternative graphics library called Internet Foundation Classes that was developed in more platform independent code by Netscape. It was developed in more platform independent way by Netscape, and at the same time there was another graphic library which was available, that is called as Application Foundation Classes, AFC. We had IFC, that is Internet Foundation Classes by Netscape, and AFC by, that is Application Foundation Classes by Microsoft. And it was made to be easier to extend the graphics component with AFC, but was primarily aimed for use with the Microsoft Java Virtual Machine. It cannot be directly used with Java Virtual Machine, but only with Microsoft Java Virtual Machine. On April 2nd, 1997, Sun Microsystem and Netscape announced their intention to combine IFC with other technologies to form Java Foundation Classes. Now, on 1997, Sun Microsystem together with Netscape, they announced the intention for Java Foundation Classes. They combined this IFC, that is Internet Foundation Classes, with some other technologies to form what is known as Java Foundation Classes. And this Java Foundation Classes were later renamed, it is later renamed as Swing, adding the capabilities for pluggable look and feel for the widgets. It even added the capability of pluggable look and feel to it. So Java Foundation Classes was renamed as Java Swing, and in this unit we will be discussing in detail about Java Swing. Okay, let us go through some of the drawbacks of AWT, because of which this Java Foundation Classes were developed. Now, I have listed some drawbacks here. The drawbacks of AWT are like limited graphical interfaces. Limited graphical interfaces, that means very few graphical components were available with AWT. The latest graphical components were not available in AWT package or AWT framework. Then AWT is platform specific, as it is said AWT takes help of native code to display its component. So AWT it depends on the native system. So it is platform specific, it is not platform independent, and this defeats the very principle of Java, that is ORA. ORA, that is WORA, ORA means write once, run anywhere. This is the very principle of Java. That means Java application can be written only once, and these application can be executed on any platform. But in case of AWT, as it is based on the platform on which we execute, this do not follow this principle of ORA, means AWT is platform dependent. Next is heavyweight components. The components which are used in AWT are all heavyweight. Heavyweight in the sense these components are not completely written in Java. So, all the heavyweight components are components which are not written complete. This AWT uses the native components which are said to be heavyweight components. Next is lack of look and feel. The look and feel of AWT component, it depends on the platform on which the application is executed, and that is the reason look and feel of the component in Java, it is not under the control of Java program, but the underlying operating system. That is also one more drawback of AWT. Next is the components in AWT are always rectangular and opaque. The shape of all the components which are available in AWT, for example, if you look at a button which may look like this, if you look at a text field, again this looks like this. If you take an example of other components which are available, all the components are rectangular in shape. The shape of the components are rectangular, and these components are opaque, means the background of the component cannot be removed. This is solid, it has solid background behind it. We cannot make this component transparent. The background of the component is not transparent, it is opaque, it is solid. So, this is also one more drawback of the AWT framework. Okay, so these are some drawbacks of AWT, and in today's session we have discussed about Java foundation classes. With this we will stop here. Thank you.